Recording in progress. So I just gave a big speech. So I'll spare everybody. We are going to strengthen starting from the foot. All right. And I've done these before from the foot. But as I pointed out to my class, I'm going to suggest a podcast for anybody that's wanting to stay regular exercise or you want motivation to keep exercising. This is the one to listen to. It's basically Dr. Daniel Lieberman. So anybody that's coming on, for instance, on my YouTube and they didn't get the whole tirade, see my class that comes on, they're special. They get all that information. Okay, what have I got here? I want to make sure you see from top to bottom. I think you see everything. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I have my pad here. This is a strength training day. Whether or not you have your shoes on, it doesn't matter. I'm starting barefooted. See my little 2-inch pillow? It's right there. And I'm going to start doing what I call kneading, okay? You could call it pressing grapes. Do you see how my heels are hanging off? It's on purpose. I don't have my whole foot on the pillow. Now, if you have your shoes on, you can do the same thing. You go on the edge of your pillow. I know what it's supposed to be. I just do that to irritate my teachers. Woo. I know. See, in the South, that wouldn't be wrong. Pillow. They wouldn't bother with that because most of the teachers are calling them pillows. I digress. Anyway, here we go. Do you see what I'm doing? I have my hands on my chair. Number 1, pushing down. I'm not pushing out. I'm not pushing in. I'm hanging my heels off a 2-inch pillow. Okay? I'm not doing lifting. I'm kneading. And why am I starting with this first instead of doing heels down, stretching, all that? No, I want to move through my foot. So you can do this in a shoe. Some of you have shoes that are very boxed in. Your feet are boxed in. And so, how do you strengthen your foot? I'm showing you how to start doing that. You can do this in a shoe. You will get benefit from it if you're doing this in a shoe. However, if you've ever had problems with your feet, I'm raising my hand. Part of it's genetics, part of it's the shoes we've worn, etc. But I am really working the calf muscle. It's warming up. It's doing a dynamic stretch. And do you see what I'm doing with my knee action? Yeah, I'm bending and straightening. I'm dropping my shoulders. I'm breathing in through my nose. I told you guys, when I say, close your lips, okay? Or I say, breathe through your nose. That's what it is. If I say breathe through your nose, how's the best way you breathe through your nose? Close your mouth. So see, my husband has heard this whole thing when he was with us. Every once in a while he would just say, "Breathe through your nose, Jeannie," and I knew what that meant. That means shut your mouth. Okay, there was just a nice way to do it. So it's a nice way for me to tell you to close your mouth. Breathe through your nose. And in an activity like I'm doing right now, don't stop. Of course, if your feet starts to cramp, which they might, of course, yes, step off. However, I am really pumping my calves up right now. At the same time, I'm starting to warm because I'm dropping my shoulders. I'm pulling my chin in. I'm tightening in my tummy. I'm bending and straightening, bending. So I'm basically doing a walk. That's what I'm doing. But with the little 2-inch drop, see, I go until I feel the floor on my heel. You can do this with your shoe. Anytime you see a stair anywhere that you can stabilize yourself gently with a hand, you can do this. And it's starting to strengthen your foot. Step off. And now I'm going to hang on here. See? I'm going to bring my toes up. So I'm going to do the opposite thing. And so what am I going to do? I'll turn to the side here. And I'm just going to do it on the floor, do right here. Do you see this? I'm bringing my toes up. I do a little bit of a hip hinge, okay? Drop your chin. So all this that we're doing it with a ear over the shoulder position. So do you see what I'm doing? Now, if I were leaning into a wall, I would be pulling those toes up. Pulling those toes up. So one of the best things you can do for your foot, I don't care if you have weak ankles, I don't care if you have plantar fasciitis, when you wake up in the morning, do a point flex. A flex and a point. See that? I'm doing a point flex. I'm bringing my toes up and then down. Up and then down. And you keep doing that up down thing. You don't do it so fast that you can't get a full contraction pulling the toe toward your shin. And you're going to feel it in tibialis anterior, but it's going to come all the way up. So this is one of the best ways, that heel drop and then the toe pull. Okay? And my legs are pretty straight here. I'm hip hinging because see, it takes contraction through the front of my leg here, and it takes contraction in my foot, and it takes contraction in my lower, right in front of the calf. Okay, it's called a tibialis muscle, anterior. Okay, and I'm going to keep you might say, well, how long do I have to do this? Well, if you're really getting a toe pull, it's going to get real heavy in the front of the leg. And that should tell you how long you do it. So I do just a tiny bit of a hip hinge. I don't do any flexion of the back. My legs are straight, but I'm getting very fatigued now in the foot and the tibialis anterior. So once I've done that kind of a thing a lot, 2 sets of 10, something like that, then I'm going to roll under. See that? Now I can do this with a shoe if I had a shoe on, and I'll do it in a minute. See that? When you're walking or you're standing or standing in line or you've gone for a walk, whatever, find you a tree, a bench, a car hood, and just put your toes under, and it will stretch back and work that ankle and that foot like nothing else. So when you start to think about strength training, think about your foot. Now, I got my chair here. I'm going to stand right here in front of my chair. I can have my shoes on or not. I didn't warn you. I understand. And I normally do strength work with my shoes on. But I'm going to go into here. And I'm going to come back up. Now, when you do that, see that move? These are little moves. And one of the things I want to point out, when you're starting about truly strengthening your feet, and a staircase is a really good place to do the beginning strengthening of your feet. But when you start doing these kind of things, why didn't I just go right down and sit down? Why wouldn't I have done that? Because that's a big move first thing in the morning. Okay. And so I'm flossing through the hips. I'm working at warming up those joints. See, I'm going just like this. I'm keeping my chin tucked. I'm doing a little at a time. And so a little at a time is the exact formula that you want to do for feet strengthening, especially if you've been plagued with plantar fasciitis. Yeah. So that is the antidote, though. See, a lot of people, I've dealt with a lot of people, taped them before they start using their foot. Stay with me. Stay with me. Don't go all the way down yet. Stay with me. And see, if you want to, when we do sit down, you could now put your pad on your little chair. Now, I haven't sit down yet for a reason. I'm pushing my butt back. A lot of you come to this point and you feel pain right in through here, okay? Because you've overbent way too much and you put pressure this way. I'm telling you, tighten your tummy, drop your shoulders, drop your chin. Now rotate through the hip. You're hinging through the hip. When you do that, you have to stay rib cage up and you're going to shine your taillights. That move marshals all of your core structure. This move right here. But don't go all the way down at first. Just get it used to and go down a little more each time. A little more each time. Why do I persist on doing this? Because we have to change things when you have wonky joints. Marilyn said she has wonky hips. Well, so do I. So you got to give them a chance, right? To warm up. This isn't just the hip it's warming up. It's warming up your whole spine. Now, before I go ahead and sit all the way down, I got my socks right here. I'm fixing to put them on. So some of you need to text your friends who might be joining in and say, fixing means she's thinking about doing something. That's what fixing means. I haven't done the deed yet. I'm fixing to. See, I'm right here. And before I go all the way down, now I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to tap over here. See that? Then I'm going to come back up. Now I'm going to go right back into it. Shine your tail lights. Keep your chin tucked. And go this way. Put your hand on the other side of your foot. And see, it's just a little bit. But that move is almost like, that's almost like an impossibility for some people to do because of their certain hip problems, back problems, etc. So that's why I'm taking it in the order that I'm taking it right now. So I'm coming down, pushing my butt back. When I get as low as I feel I can go, I'm going to turn and touch. Then I come back to center and I come up. Then I go back down as low as I can go. I turn, I touch on the other side of the foot, and then I turn to center and come back up. It's a 1, 2, 3 step process. And when I get to the end of this kind of maneuvering, oh my goodness, you're going to be breathing a little deeper. You're going to be moving a little bit better. And I've taken it step by step. Okay, so here's the 1, chin tucked. Here's the 2, rib cage up, push your butt back. Then you come down into the heels. Then you turn. Then you come back straight. Then you come up. Okay? And you come all the way up. Because what do? We start doing this. Because we figure, well, we're just going to have to come up. So let me just stay down here and do it. No. Come all the way up. Yeah? Chin tucked, shoulders down, rotate, shine your tail lights. Now you turn. Now you come to center. Now you come up. You can do it all again. Turn and back up. Yay. Now we're ready to go all the way down. So you're going to go all the way down. You're going to sit there, and you can be doing this with shoes or without shoes, and then you come back up. Now, I'm telling you, when you first start doing sit to stands, use your little pad. It will facilitate your movement and get you warmed up gently instead of going all the way down and then going, oh, pull grandmama up, or you put a death grip on something to pull you up. No, you're supposed to do it with these. Okay, so here I am, heels, and I'm up all by myself. Right here, and I'm back up. Okay, and I'm going to do this about 6 times, but after the 6th time, I'm feeling like I can take the pillow out of there. You may not want to, and that's fine. So I've got about 1 or 2 more. Okay, I don't know if Kathy's on, but she's probably going crazy with my counting. I'm not counting. Okay, take a breath. Now watch this. I'm going to take the pad out. You don't have to. This stinking little 2-inch drop makes a huge difference. I'm going to go down and sit all the way down now. Oh my goodness. Quite different, even a 2-inch drop. So this is, I'm taking a lot of time to make you understand that everything that you work on with strength, with endurance, with anything physically, you got to do a little at a time. That's the point. Or you go overboard and you injure yourself, or you go underboard and it doesn't become effective. So I'm hoping that you're following my whole line of thinking and what I'm taking you through right now. I'm doing every single one of these with you. Okay, take a breath. I want you to be able to get up from a chair and down with no problem and no help and no grabbing and all that. Take a breath. Nose. You know what I'm saying every time I tell you to breathe through your nose, right? Right. You got it. Okay, one more. Take a breath. And right here. Okay. Now, I'm leading up to our strength work, which we already did strength work with our feet. Okay, so I'm going to put my little shoes on, and you are going to lean back. So if you already have your shoe on, then you're going to cross over with your leg here, but you're going to sit to the edge of your chair, and you're going to lean back, and you're going to drop your chin. And you're going to hang out there for a few seconds, okay? I'm going to put my little sock on, and then while I have my foot in this position, I'm going to put my little shoe on. And you notice I can lean forward, put that shoe on, put that sock on, and not round or flex my back is the point. Okay? Now, once I have it on, I'm going to go all the way down. So you go way down deep so that you almost feel it in your groin right now, the stretch, because that prepares all of our hips, all of our lower back, all of our leg ready for higher movement. So I'm going to go like this on the other leg. So what am I going to do? This is my hip replace side. I'm going to open at the hip, and I'm going to lift my rib cage. Okay? So you're going to hang out here for a bit. Careful with your leg. See, I don't let it go way down, but I feel the stretch, and it's very adequate right there. See, there's my sock. Okay? Now I'm going to get my shoe, and you're hanging out there. You're stretching all through that whole piriformis area, and I'm telling you, it makes a difference when you take the time to do some of these very important hip range tasks that we're doing. Okay, so when I'm coming forward like this, and you already have your shoes on, you're coming forward like this. And you should be coming pretty deep, okay? But here's the deal. I'm coming pretty deep, but I am not rounding my back. That is very important for you to hear here, whether or not you can see it. And then I'm gonna go this way and turn and look. Then I'm gonna go this way and turn and look as far down as I can go. You should be down far enough, breathing through your nose, that you feel a stretch in your groin, especially when you turn, okay? So once I've done that, oh my goodness, I don't feel so stiff anymore, okay? That's the whole reason to do that whole thing that I just did. So you started strength training with your feet today, okay? You used body weight, and then we did some range of motion movements to get my shoes on, and that's how I would like for you to get your own shoes on. So now I'm going to start to overload. So I'm going to come forward. When I come forward, I tuck my chin. See that? Yeah. Breathing through your nose. So you know what I'm telling you when I tell you to breathe through your nose, right? So I'm going to be right here. I'm going to take my butt off the seat, but I'm not standing up. So stay with me. Take your butt off the seat, and you're hanging out down here. Keeping your chin tucked. You're just hanging out down here. And I'm trying to achieve a little bit of an overload in your quads right now. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Get your butt low. You're in your heels. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. And come up. Yes. Remember that position, because we're going to do it with weights here in just a minute. Right now, you just did it with your own body weight, but it will be just like a party when we do it with weights in just a minute. I hope you're laughing. Well, okay. I'm adjusting my weights, and what do you see me doing? I am putting on my weight gloves. Some of you just start thinking, oh, I don't need my gloves. Let me just get on with it. I'm telling you, if you tend to have issues like osteoporosis, lupus, arthritis, all these kind of itises, use your dadgum gloves, okay? Because it supports your joints, number one. It keeps your hands warm, number two. It helps you in your lifting, okay? Take a big breath. I picked up Nancy's, first thing Nancy wants to do. How much weight do you have? I picked up 9 and 9. Okay, so I didn't go light because I've done a lot of stuff thus far. So here's my 9 and 9. So what am I going to do? I'm going to step out. I'm going to step back. So I have a 9 and 9. I generally pick up a 6 for my light work. Okay. So go up just a little over what you're normally used to. So all I'm doing is keeping my feet forward. I'm correcting my posture constantly. Shoulders down. Breathing through the nose. Chin tucked. And when you step out, I'll turn to the side so you'll see this. I keep getting a frog in my throat. See this? Some of you go way out. We're going to go out, but not yet. So when I step, I want to drop, but I don't want to shoot my knee out over my toe yet. I will do that, or I'll do versions of that in a minute. Okay, so right now, I just corrected myself because some of you do this move and you're already way out here. I want to get you so you're going to stand better and have more endurance standing better. So that's why I step out and I say rib cage up and shoulders down as I drop the back knee. Okay, and then I come back because that engages my back extensors in a very specific way to help you have better, longer, more endurance in standing properly. Okay, see how I'm doing this? So I just said to myself, I don't want my knee to go too far out. I'm going to bring my knee down in the back. I don't want to lean, so I'm going to say rib cage up. And now I'm going to start the arm action. Okay, so I'm doing this repeatedly. Bend the knee in the back. So that I keep my heel down in the back. And then I'm going to do a hammer and a hammer. Take a big breath. And do you see how I'm doing a slight turn in my upper body? My hips are still, but I'm turning just like I would if I were doing a sprint with my arms. Okay, big breath. And so I would encourage you, those of you who know you have issues with balance, next to a wall, because see now both of my hands are hanging on. Okay, right now, some of you are starting to lean. I already know it. You're asking me, how do you know that, Jeannie? Because I know what slugs do. I learned from the best. Okay, so right here, say rib cage up. See this? Say rib cage up. I'm bending my back knee a tiny bit, but I have my heel down. Okay, breath. And if I needed to right myself, I would be by a wall so that all I have to do is just push my elbow out and I touch a wall. That little point of contact will keep you from falling. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. So this is only 9 and 9. Okay. And now I've held it into that position where you should be getting tired in your legs. Okay, ready? Do not, in an attempt to bring the front leg back, do not jerk your back. I want you to go lower, tighten your tummy, and I want you to push into your toe and just shift back. See that? That little maneuver that I just showed you could be everything in safer movement for you. Okay, so here I am. Take a big deep breath through your nose. So everybody knows what I mean when I say breathe through your nose, right? Yes, just exactly what I knew when my husband said, breathe through your nose, Jeannie. It was a much nicer than saying, shut your mouth. Okay, rib cage up. Yeah. Now I'm turning the weights. Okay. Before I was doing this. This was a hammer curl. Now I'm going to turn. I'm just doing a full-on bicep curl. See that? But every time I do it, what do I have to fight? What? I'm bending my back knee a little. My heel is down. But when I do this, I invariably see people jerking and leaning too far forward. So say rib cage up, curl, breath, curl, breath. Take a big breath. In through the nose. Yeah, in through the nose and out through the nose if possible. Breath. Woo. Say rib cage up. Some of you are leaning in. I know, I just know. Take a big breath. Pull. Big breath, pull. Breath, pull. Breath, pull. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. Big breath through the nose. Bring that back knee down a little bit. And rib cage up, rib cage up, rib cage up. Drop your chin. Woo! Couple more, couple more. And come down. Now, how are you going to get back to square one? How are you going to do that? I'm not going to jerk. What am I going to do? I'm going to press with the toe, but my tummy's tight. See? See? I did that. If you take a great big step to get yourself back to square one, that is enough to send many people who struggle with balance to the floor. I just showed you a technique. When you're way out like this, how do you get back without wrenching your back? You press to the toe and you pull it back. That's how you do it. Okie dokie. All right. Big breath. Now I'm going to put my weights on my chair. I'm going to do some feet strengthening as well as working with my weights. Okay. So again, anytime you step on a very compliant surface, which is what this is, that means a spongy, you can get off balance. You got to be ready for that. Okay. So I'm going to pick up my waist, but before I do that, I'm going to step and step. I'm going to step and step. See that? I'm going to step back, and then I'm going to step forward and back. I'm going to step forward and back. So I'm doing all these types of motions, but there's one motion I still yet have to do because I'm strengthening my feet muscles, I'm strengthening my postural muscles, and my proprioceptive muscles. But when you're stepping on a spongy surface, it can throw you. So you need to be by a chair, by a wall, by a counter, by a bed, something that you can just put your hand on. Because I'm going to now take one leg, I don't care which, and I'm going to do the last little crossover. And it's going to be back. See that? And this is spongy, and you might need to put your hand on the chair. Okay? So I've told you this, right? I've warned you, correct? So if you hit the floor, see, we don't want to hear about it. I'm just kidding. But I do want you to think about this. When you're working on this compliant surface, this is one of the best ways that I can take you through true balance work. Because because you do that, you need to be ready that if you're losing your balance, you can put your hand on a wall or something. Okay, so here I go. My knee is bent. Now, those of you with both hips replaced, knee replaced, this can be very scary because I'm going to take my other foot, I'm going to put it crossed over behind me. And for a split second, you are on one leg, it's wobbling, and you want to lock your knee. Don't do that. So here I am. Say rib cage up, bend those knees, tight tummy, breath, come back. Okay? I'm going to do 2 times again on the other side. So soften your knees, say rib cage up, and go like that. And I don't want you to fall into the position. I want you to be able to move smoothly into the position. And for a split second, you're going to feel that little ankle shaking. That's what we're looking for. But then you got to be able to manage all of that. See that? See, I just cross like you're doing a little curtsy, okay? Yeah, I'll call it a bow for my guys in class. Okay, big breath. Now I'm going to step over here and I'm going to pick up my 9-pound weights in one hand and in the other hand. So I have 18 pounds that I'm trying to manage here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to bring them right here as if I had an 18-pound weight vest. I'm going to step up and I'm going to repeat what I just did with no weight. Okay? So that means rib cage up, Yes. Breathing through the nose, keeping my chin tucked, keeping my knees soft. Now, some of you are scrunching your toes. How do I know that? Don't scrunch your toes. Bend at the knee. Take a big breath through your nose. Step back. Step back up. Do the other leg. Step back. Step back up. Now I'm going to step to the side. Right here. And back up. Do you see all the shifting going on? Lots of shifting going on. Guess what has to stabilize everything? Your back. Yes. Okay, and I'm going to go forward. I'm going to step forward. I'm going to go back. And in order to step forward and to drop 2 inches, see my knee is bent. See, this is why I did so many of those things at the beginning. Woo! I wanted you to know how to handle the weight when you're on a spongy surface. Okay, go side and go side. Okay, now you're going to bring one up and then bring the other one up. And do you notice? You might think you're losing your place. So I don't want you to hang your neck out. What I do want you to do is drop your chin. And then I want you to just dart your eyes. I just want you to dart your eyes. See that? Dart. You can see where you're at. See where you're at. And see when you have your foot on the bench or on the pad, it's not a problem. But now let's make a problem. We go out and we go out. Okay? Now at this point, with your feet pointing forward, push your butt back and come down into a semi-squat. See that? Come back into your heels, semi-squat, and come back. Here we go. Drop your shoulders, back into your heels, and come back. See, I'm not taking you down too far, but I am wanting your back extensors to get stronger. That's why I'm doing this little hip hinge. It's a very high, act like you're sitting on a stool. So I'm not even going down to chair height even, but I'm pushing hard into my heels and it's making me use my quads. I know, not too hard, but it's making them work. And as we're coming into, as we start to go in, not yet, but to the last part of the class, you should feel a little shakiness. That's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm in my heels, my toes are forward. I'm doing a little hip hinge. I've got 18 pounds on my shoulders. Take a big breath and then come back. Now grab those. Now we're going to step into the pillow right there. And then I'm going to step into the pillow. And I'm going to come back up and I'm going to go forward now. Forward. And then come back. And forward. And then come back. Okay? Take a big breath. Now here's our Waterloo. I have 9 and 9. When I go for that split second to lift my foot and to cross and bring it back, be ready for it. You do not have to do the full crossover. Just step back. So if it gets you scared to cross over, just step straight back. That's okay. Okay? So whatever your situation is, make sure you're ready that in case you lose your balance, you can either lean against a wall or stabilize yourself. Okay, see that? And then come back. Here I am. Here's 18 pounds. Bend the knees, hip hinge, tight tummy, shoulders down, all the way back if you can. And across. If you can't, just step back. Simply step back. Okay? And you should feel all kinds of trying to find your balance, a little shakiness going on. See that? So all of this, while you are managing to hang on to whatever poundage you picked up, okay? So big breath. I'm gonna stand here now and I'm gonna go into my first big squat with poundage. So I'm all the way down. Do not round your back. So I'm on my little sponge, my little balance pad. I'm gonna keep my chin tucked. I'm gonna go into a push back with my butt. I'll turn to the side so you'll see what it looks like. So as I come down with weights, see, I'm pushing into the heels, keeping my chin tucked. Right about here is where everybody wants to round their back. Don't do it. Come back up. If you feel you're rounding your back, don't keep going. Come back up. Here we go. Take a big breath, heels, and then come back up. Take a big breath. Heels, 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 heels. Hang out there for a minute and go 1, 2. Don't round your back. Don't round your back. Hang on, breath. Hang on, breath. Hang on. Breath. And come up. Yay! Then I'm going to step off. And we bring those weights up. I haven't changed them yet. So anytime you start working with a heavier weight, if you feel like, ooh, this is heavy, I'm not doing my form correct, that is your clue to pick up a lighter weight or no weight. So you can do all of this with no weight and get very good benefit, especially if you have a forward head problem, okay? You gotta line that up first before you do too much weight. I just turned on my fan overhead. So I'm getting warm. I hope you are. Okay, so I'm right here. I'm gonna bring one weight up, bring the other weight up. I'm gonna open. Do not lock your legs here. I'm gonna step up onto the little pad because that's gonna make me work harder to stay on balance. Okay, loosen up your hands. And I'm just gonna bring these right here to my ears and then back. See that? Big breath right there. Take a big breath, and back down. Breath right now. And then exhale right there. Breath in as you go down. Exhale. Breath in as you go down. Exhale. In as you come down. Exhale. Back down. Now hang out here for just a second. Go 1 and 2 and 3. Loosen your hands. 5. Hang on. Breath. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Breath. 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 And down. Nice. Okay. I'm going to step off my little pad. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go up and weight. Okay. Now I'm going to go up and weight. Only one. So I'm going to go 12 and 12. So if you are like, she's crazy, that's fine. You don't have to go to that. If you can put a little bit more on, do. Otherwise, do it with no weights. That's fine. Posture will benefit. This is somebody asked me about my class, and I said, basically, whether you use weights or not, I'm hammering on all my little slugs to stand up, give yourself a chance, right? I know. Okay, here we go. I'm right here. Now I'm going to hit the back parts of the arm. So I'm on the floor. I'm not on the pad right now. I'm just going to bend over a little. Do you remember all those high hip hinges that we did? Remember them? Now, if you want to make this harder, well, God bless you. Step over onto your little pad and do your little hip hinge. You're going to work harder just by doing this whole next move on your little pad. So here I am. My shoulders are down. Hip hinge. I'm going to push back and squeeze my shoulder blades. Bring them back in. A little high hip hinge. Tuck your chin. breath, and exhale. Squeeze those shoulder blades as you straighten your arm. See that? Take a breath. Boom, right there. Breath. Roll those shoulder blades in. I don't know if you're seeing my dogs, but they're like not caring. Here we go. Breath and come back. Breath. See, put those arms back there. Woo! Roll the shoulder blades in, down and in. Breath. Breath, down and in. Push, down and in. Push, down and in. Just two more. Stay with me. I'm doing every one of these with you. Breath. Good. Now, you can step off your little pad anytime you want to. That's fine with me. However, you will work harder if you're on your little balance pad. Keep your knees soft. And all I want you to do, the only thing I want you to do is shift and act like you're going to take your foot off the pad, but you don't. So see, I'm managing 12 and 12. So you can add up, right? Shift, tight tummy, drop your shoulders. Act like you're going to bring your foot off, but don't. Okay? So you're going to shift, ribcage up, tuck your chin, tight tummy, and bend the knee, and act like you're going to step off, but you hang around for just a second. So see, I just held it up there, 1001, maybe 1002. Here we go, shift. Okay, bend the knee, drop the shoulders, bring it up, 1001, 1002. See what I did? Okay, down, shift, act like you're gonna step off, but you don't. So this one is my weak side because this is my hip replace side. So I'm thinking of those out there with double hips replaced. You have my respect if you're trying to do this, but be very careful, because when you go like this, as if you were going to step off, that's enough to throw you. I'm warning you, okay? So you're shifting, keep your knees soft, and if you're one of those that are just like, I can't do that, lift your heel up. See that? And back down. This is why I call my company Fitness Concepts, because there's all kinds of ways to skin a cat. I've skinned a few cats. Woo! I know. I had a colorful background. Here we go. Hip hinge. Keep your chin tucked. Shift. And just go to your toe. See, keep your knees soft. Keep your rib cage up. I have pretty heavy weights here. If you can bring your toe up for just a second, then that's fine. If not, just bring your little stinking heel off the ground. That's okay. See? Bend the knee. Okay, rib cage up, straighten up, and act like you're gonna bring that up, and then you put it back down. This is real balance work, okay? This is balance work on steroids because I'm doing this with 24 added pounds. You can do this with a backpack. See, I'm gonna bring my heel up. This is my challenge side. And then if I can let go of my toe for even a few seconds, then I will. Okay, take a breath, hang a heel back. So those of you who are on at the very beginning, you know that this was one of the first moves I did. Hanging my heel off with my front of my foot on the little pad, okay? Then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna hang the other one off on the ground. See that? So now I have both heels on the ground. I'm gonna press into the toes and just lift my heels up. See that? Just like that. Careful. This is a spongy surface. If you're not ready, it can throw you. And you can do one at a time. See, I can go like this. That's perfectly fine. Breath, just like that. Or push into the toes and bring the heels up. See that? So this is the very first one that I did when I did it barefooted, because I wanted to strengthen my foot. Everybody who has, almost everybody I've worked with who has plantar fasciitis issues, they do the protective stage fine because it involves stretching, it involves compression, rubbing the foot out, icing it. They do that just fine, but after the inflammation is gone, they do not embark upon a program to really start to strengthen their weak foot, okay? And that's what I'm doing. I'm showing you the beginnings of what that might look like. So I did this, the very first move, with no shoes, okay? And then I did the toe ups. So I'm gonna step off. I'm gonna bring the weights right here. I'm gonna put them right there. I'm gonna hold them in place with my thumb. I'm gonna kick my little bench out, and I'm gonna pull one toe up, then the other toe up. Now, in order to maintain this, you have to stay rib cage up, and you're pulling a leg straight while you pull the toe up. And all at the same time, I'm managing 24 pounds coming down right through my spine, okay? So I'm gonna go pull and pull. And if you were leaning against a wall, you could pull both toes up. So I'm just pulling that toe up as hard as I can. That means you have to straighten your leg. So one knee is soft, one knee is really straightened, and it's pulling. Just like that. Pull, pull, pull. Keep your chin tucked. Breath, breath, breath. And here I am. And I'm going to step out on the floor, bend the knee. Come back, bend the knee. Come back, bend the knee. Rotate now, get the heel off the ground and go down as low as you can. And hang out down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Take a big breath. Step out with the other leg. And I go down as far as I can with my knee. Say rib cage up, but my heel's down. That's the important thing here. See, I'm getting that ankle and that foot ready. Okay? Take a big deep breath. Now you're going to rotate into the toe, and you're going to drop the knee down as far as you can go, and you're going to do little pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And come back. Take a big deep breath. I'm going to retrieve my weights. I'm doing a little hop, and they go right into my hands, just like that. See that? Then I'm going to take these heavier weights right at the end here. I'm going to go pull, pull. I am not swinging. I'm not jerking my back. I'm doing this with my muscle in my arm. I'm going to go pull, keep my chin tucked, keep my chin tucked, keep my chin tucked. Yes, yes, yes. Breath. Then I'm going to step wide. I'm going to come right here. I'm going to go full on pull right here. Don't jerk. Don't go fast. Take a big breath. Woo. Breath in. Okay. Exhale as you exert. Breathe in. Drop your shoulders. Big breath. Exhale. Drop more shoulders. Breath. Big breath. Exhale. Yeah. Stay into the heels or your whole foot, actually. Breath. Oh, I got about 3 more. Pull. Big breath. Big breath. And open. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, breath, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down. Oh, I think we're out of time. That's what I think. And I'm right. Okay, open those hands. I'm gonna do Marilyn's favorite. Pendulum, side pendulum. See, I just stepped out. I say rib cage up. I drop my shoulders and I just let the arms pendulum. I don't go up over the shoulder. See, I'm not going up over my neck. I'm keeping it right at shoulder. Okay, now step back. Take a big breath, step out with the other leg. Because when you do this rotational move gently and you let it pendulum and you just let your waist swing with the arms and turn, this is just like a running or a walking motion, okay? Because your hips work in like a figure 8, and that's what we're kind of doing when we do that kind of a work. Then I just come here, I let them stay in a pendulum, and for those of you who really want to open up your chest, you keep your chin tucked. Let's say you have forward shoulders, you're really working on it. You bend at the hips, you come here, and you keep your thumb up. See that? Thumbs are up. Thumbs are up. Thumbs are up. And then you open, 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 open. You go into a W. You go into a T. And then you do just a Y, just like that. Okay? And then you open back with your thumbs pointing back. Really open, and you'll feel it right here. Right here in the chest wall. Keep your chin tucked. Pull back, drop your shoulders. Big breath. Okay, I should say, breathe through your nose, so you know what that means. Here we go, and come back down. Shake out a little bit. I hope you were able to do all of that. Remember, my little slugs, that's an endearing term.